Hi, my name is Jim Lewis, and I knew Gordon Lightfoot, or Gordy as we called him then, all through high school. We started in the fall of 1952 and graduated in the spring of 1957. During that time, Gordon and I and all of his quartet friends were members of the Orillia Barbershop chorus, and as well we took part in operettas and musical functions at what was then called ODCVI, or OD. I got to know him quite well through the musical activities. Also after hours, there was a dance hall called the Pavilion Inn, or the Pav, and we saw Gordon and his various musical friends there quite often. The first quartet that Gordon had was called the Collegiate Four, and they sang at assemblies and various service clubs and organizations around Orillia. And Gordon at that time was singing tenor. I also sang tenor. In fact, I still do sing tenor in the barbershop chorus. So when his voice changed to baritone, his former quartet mates asked me if I would join the Collegiate Four, and I did. He formed the Collegiate Four about 1953, and they were members of the Orillia Barbershop chorus. They sang it in 1955, I believe. Gordon's voice changed from tenor to baritone, and he could no longer carry on in that quartet. So as I was in the barbershop chorus, the three other guys came to me and asked me if I would take his place in the quartet, and I was delighted to do that. Unfortunately, after about a year, one of the other fellows in the quartet became seriously ill and in fact passed away. The second quartet that Gordon had was called the Teen Timers, and they were older fellows. They were all, I guess Gordon would be in grade 11 or 12 by that time, and they were excellent. They competed in the barbershop competitions for the Ontario district, and they placed very well at the competitions. And they sang in the summertime at various resorts around the area and in Muskoka, and it lasted until 1957 or late 56. And then Gordon decided that he and Terry Whalen would form a duo called the Two Timers, which lasted, and I talked about them a little bit before. After graduation, Gordon and I and several other people all went to Toronto about the same time. I went to Ryerson to take radio and TV arts, and Gordon launched his solo career. He had been singing prior to that with Terry Whalen as a duo called the Two Timers, and his father persuaded him to take a chance on doing it by himself, which obviously turned out very well. After he got to Toronto, he managed to get a job with the CBC with a TV show, weekly TV show called Country Hoedown with Gordy Tapp and Connie Tomlin and a whole bunch of people that were on the air for many years. He was part of a group of square dancers called the Singing Swinging Eight, and I guess during the time they weren't singing and swinging, somebody discovered that he was quite a good singer, and they gave him an opportunity to sing a few solos on that show, and that helped launch his career. I saw him a couple of times at the Opera House. Later on, we sort of went our different ways. Gordon went to California to study music composition. I went to London to the TV station there and was there for several years, and then moved on to the TV station in Hamilton. I saw him again, I guess, about 1998, and again in 2005. As you probably know, Gordon had a serious aneurysm in 2003, I believe it was, at the Orillia Opera House prior to his concert, was rushed off to Hamilton Hospital and was there for treatment for several months. During that time, the members of St. Paul's sent various get-well messages to Gordon, and in appreciation of that, in December of 2005, he came and did a free, closed concert for the members and friends of St. Paul's. During that program, which was hosted by Karen Hilfman-Millson and Blair Bailey, Blair mentioned to him that somebody was in the audience that had replaced him in his first quartet called the Collegiate Four. That person happened to be me. When he spotted me, he jumped off the stage and came right down, and we had quite a little chat on the microphone, and I found out at that time that he had a trailer load of 2-inch tapes from the CBC, and I asked him if we could possibly obtain those for the future Gordon Lightfoot Hall of Fame in Orillia. I hope that's being pursued, although I'm not involved in it. After that, I saw him a couple of times at Mariposa Folk Festival, and was very sorry to hear of his passing. So my final meeting with Gord, in fact my only meeting in person after 1957, was the one that I described in 2005. And I'm proud to have known him in high school. I don't consider that I was a close friend after he left high school, but I certainly was in the 50s, and I've enjoyed his music all through my life. In fact, I've had the pleasure of doing an arrangement of If You Could Read My Mind for our Barbershop chorus 2 years ago, which was performed at our annual competition. And Blair Bailey was good enough to come down and listen to the arrangement along with the rest of the show songs, and we're hoping to perform at St. Paul's in the near future. So I'd like to invite you to join us at St. Paul's at 10:30 this Sunday morning for the special Gordon Lightfoot service as part of Lightfoot Days. You'll actually get to hear Gordon sing when he was 12 years old, along with some very good singers from St. Paul's. So we look forward to seeing you. That's Sunday morning at 10:30.
Perfect. That's a wrap.